Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercury. Welcome to my channel. It's my daily vlog, so whatever I'm up to is what you're gonna see here. And a few days ago in that video where I was cleaning up my apartment, I mentioned that my basil plant is quite fully grown and needs a harvest. And when it needs a harvest, that means I need pesto. Or rather, I should say, it needs to be turned into pesto for me to make my tummy happy. I did make a video a while back about how I make pesto. It's actually one of the first videos I ever posted. So I'll throw a link up to it. I always forget which side, but I'll throw a link up. But that, when I did in the past, I followed a recipe like, spot on that I had found. Today, I think I'm going to do it a little bit slapdash. So there's certain ingredients that are always in pesto. So it's going to be basil, olive oil, Parmesan cheese, and pine nuts or pinoli nuts. And I'm just going to sort of approximate stuff and see what happens. So we'll give it a try. This is my little countertop garden. So this is my basil, and that is why I said it is quite grown right now. There is a lot of it. So, time to harvest. And here is all the basil that I harvested. Look at that. Whole bunch in there. It's a big old bowl full. And this is what I left my basil plant with. So you could see there's still a whole bunch of basil on there. And it'll grow. There'll be more. And this stalk, I trimmed off and I put in there. So my basil actually was starting to flower. And I've had this basil for years and years, and it's never actually flowered like that. And I was looking closer in these little pods. And I don't know if you could tell, but like right in there are little seeds. There are little seeds in there. So I'm just going to leave this stalk right here. And if the seeds drop right into the soil, I'll have new basil growing. We'll see what happens with that. Next up, I'm going to toast my pine nuts or pinoli nuts. I have these pinoli nuts right here. And just on a warm pan, not putting any oil in, nothing. Just heating them up and getting them a little bit toasty. And that's all I'm going to do. But you have to stay close. You have to keep them moving and you have to keep an eye on it. Because these go from doing nothing to burnt in like the blink of an eye. So you gotta be there and keep it an eye. So here are my toasted pine nuts. So look at that. So you want to get these out of the hot pan and into another container pretty quickly because you don't want them to keep cooking because that residual heat, yeah, they'll push from toasted to burnt. So this is what they should look like. So now I'm going to take all of my basil and I'm going to put it into my food processor. And I have the standard blade like this. And just always be very careful. That's a super sharp blade. So always be careful with that. So this basil is going to go into the drum. And next, I'm going to take some Parmesan and I'm going to grate the Parmesan cheese. I have one of these handy dandy graters like this. And we're just going to grate away. Now that we have that cheese grated, it's got to join the basil. Whoops. Don't bump into things. Okay. Then we're going to add the pine nuts. But make sure these have cooled down because you don't want to put these in hot. Let me see if I'm going to use all of them. I'm going to start with that. Could always add more, but I can't take away. So we're going to start there. So from here, I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to start processing it. And I'm going to slowly drizzle the olive oil in because I'm not following a recipe with proportions. I'm just doing this by eye, and when it gets to the right consistency, that's what I'm going to go with. The other thing is, because Parmesan cheese is a pretty salty cheese, I wait until it's blended to taste it, and then I add salt and pepper to taste. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I almost forgot the garlic. So I have a large clove of garlic here, and my trick is I bend it away from the curve. So it's like, see, it curves downwards, so I'll bend it upwards until I hear it pop. That pop is the skin pulling away. If you bend it too far, you're snapping the garlic. But from there, the skin has peeled away, and you can just free the garlic. Of course, I just cut my nails and I can't get them under. There we go. There we go. Garlic has been freed. So, because it's going to get blended up in the food processor, you don't even have to chop this. Bloop. Gonna blend that back in. Okay, the garlic has been processed in. A little salt and pepper time. Moment of truth, everyone. Let's give it a taste. It's really good. I think I used a little too much cheese. My cheese to basil ratio is a little bit high, but I love cheese, so it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. But very tasty. Very, very tasty. So I'm gonna put this into a little bin and finish up. So my pesto is all done. I put it in the refrigerator because I'm not using it right this second, but it's wonderful. You could use it as a sauce for all sorts of things. You could put it on meats like chickens and fish. You could use it as a pasta sauce. It's delicious. I love it. So something that I want to start to do is I want to incorporate a little bit more about the history of the food that I'm preparing. So I realize I have really eclectic taste in what I eat, and I have to modify a lot of what I eat to fit my dietary needs. But these are not my recipes. These are not my origin stories. And it makes me start to wonder, like, where did this food come from? Is this like a familial recipe passed down through the generations? Is this specific to a certain region? So I'm going to start to try to give a little bit more information about what it is I'm cooking. So today I made pesto, and pesto originated in northern Italy, and the garlic in it was originally chosen because it helped to ward off illness. And then it evolved, and it has always incorporated sort of the garlic and aromatic herbs, and it's evolved and developed into the pesto that we know today. So shout out to pesto and being passed down from the generations, because, it's delicious. I'm glad it stood the test of time. So with that, I am done for today, and I will see you all tomorrow. And until then, stay inspired by everyone. Take care.